I've been alone inside myself far too long. I never really wanted it that way, but I let it happen. If I could do it all again, my life.
Hey everyone, welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jalailah Starr. Today the topic is facing the fear of emptiness. There are times in our lives when it's as though the universe comes along and says, you know, that situation, that person no longer needs to be in your life, so we're just going to remove it. And so what we end up with is this emptiness, this void in our lives, and it's just like a tsunami came and just washed whatever that was away, and we're left with the aftermath. And we're going, what? Because usually when they occur, we don't see them coming. But when we look back, we realize that it was something that we were hanging on to that really wasn't serving us, and it needed to go. So I wanted to talk about that today because I think a lot of people are experiencing a void or a state of emptiness that has come upon them rather unexpectedly. I want to talk about why they occur, what we can do to face the fear that they create, the fear of the emptiness that is created, and also how to ensure that what comes in, because you know the universe abhors a void. What comes in to feel it is something that will make our hearts sing. All right. So to answer these, I want to give you a personal. I'll share a personal example. Just recently, well, let me back up. As you know, if you've read my weekly messages, that ever since about 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to start renting out rooms in my house. Now, I bought my house with the idea that it would be my office and I would just live in my office. And it was because I was doing so many workshops with people coming in from out of town, and they were staying in hotels, and the hotels were getting more expensive. It was requiring rental cars. It was just a lot for them to do. And so I thought, well, you know, I could go buy a 4-bedroom house and have 3 rooms available for workshop attendees, which would make it like a big slumber party, which I thought was really fun. So I did. And it worked out really well. But, you know, the economy has changed, and I stopped doing a lot of traveling, and I stopped doing a lot of the workshops and such. But I still needed to continue to rent the rooms because of the way I set it up with, you know, taxes. I have to write off those rooms, so they have to be rented. So I decided to go ahead and rent them full time. And, you know, it mainly is to business people who come in town. They don't want to stay in an extended stay hotel. They want to, you know, stay in a home. Just like when my dad was on the road when I was a kid, and he'd be working out of town, he would find a room to rent in some lady's house, and he'd get kitchen privileges, and he was able to save money and, you know, and have a home environment. And so kind of in honor of him, I do it as well. So I've been doing that for a few years, and overall it's worked out really well. But recently, in the last 10 days, I have had something unexpected happen. I have created a void in my reality in the form of no renters. In fact, all 3 of my renters moved out within 10 days, unexpectedly, no notices, they just left. And I'm like, now there are reasons for each of them leaving. Lost their job, lost their alimony, they were a smoker and just could not switch to an e-cig. So, and I don't take smokers. It just is like boom, 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 right before the end of the month. So, and I was just blindsided. I was just blindsided that this has never happened. You know, every once in a while you're going to have somebody leave and they're not going to give notice. You know, they're going to break their lease and all that good stuff. But to have 3 of them do it within 10 days, it's like, okay, there's a message here. So when I look at it, going back to our 3 questions, why do they occur? Well, you know, I think what happened was with each one of them, there was something there that was an irritant, but I tolerated it because, you know, no one's going to be perfect. But you tolerate because you're under lease and you have to. You just make the best of it. But I think what else was going on is, you know, we were going at the same time, we were going through this big shift that we've been talking about for a while. And we did actually go through it at the end of September. And I was really focused on doing whatever clearing I needed to do to make way for that. So, you know, like my friends said, well, maybe your frequency doesn't match their frequency anymore, so they needed to go. Well, okay, that's possible, you know, but to have 3 of them was definitely a message for me. And I think what it was that I needed to let go so that somebody better could come in, someone that wasn't an irritant to me, who was one of my favorite renters. I mean, I've had several that were really fantastic and we stay in touch, but for whatever reason, I had 3 that appeared to start out that way, but I knew they kind of were not going to become that. So I was dealing with situations that were creating strife for me, but I was tolerating it. And because of this big leap in consciousness that we all made, or ascension leap that we just made, it just didn't resonate anymore, and they all needed to go. So, okay, I get that. So how do I face the fear that this emptiness creates? Well, you know, it's not comfortable. They use these kind of voids that are created in our lives where our soul just decides, get them out, you know, eliminate it because it's blocking what's new that's wanting to come in. I make it each day by focusing on what I'm grateful for, focusing on the good that came out of this clean sweep of my home. One is that I have peace. You know, I can go to sleep at night now and I don't have to close my door. I can come and go as I please. I can cook whenever I want. I don't have to worry about somebody else's timetable and when they're going to use the kitchen. I mean, I have freedom. So that's where I try to stay focused, is on the freedom. And then when the anxiety comes, I got to remember, I've been doing this for 4 years. There's always going to be new renters. But brings me to the next point. The final one. How do I ensure that the people that the ones that come in to fill this void are like some of my favorite renters? Stay focused on what I really want. I really want somebody who can be a friend as well as a renter, who got the same level of hygiene that I would have, and who is appreciative of what they are going to get. A beautiful room with, you know, nice amenities, in a safe neighborhood, in a nice home, with friendly neighbors, and, you know, they can leave and be gone for a week and know that their stuff is going to be safe. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that. So I stay focused on what I want and what I have to offer, and my appreciation and gratitude for that person when they show up. So that's how I'm getting through it. That's how I'm ensuring that it's going to be someone that I really like. Because there were times when I had 3 fantastic renters that were like friends, and we had a blast. That's what I'm going to focus on, having that again. So that's how you get through them. They occur because our souls say enough is enough. This isn't working. We need to move this on. But we get stuck. We think that we should keep them for whatever reason, keep that person, that thing, that relationship in our lives. But what we're doing is we're blocking something better coming in. And the soul says it's time to let that go. So if you're going through a period of emptiness, maybe this will help you to understand why you're going through it and how to ensure that what comes in is really what's going to make your heart sing. So until next time, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.
But there's always tomorrow.